Hey Gateway family, it's Dr. Wall. So body weighting, that's gonna be this episode, this video. I wanted to show you guys proper ways to body weight. Now, this one's a tough one to really demonstrate because everybody does weights differently. And that's a big thing. So the first point I wanna point out when you're doing your weights, only do what you've been told to do by myself, Dr. Carter, Brandon, or Destiny when we did the tour with you. That is vital because everybody's going to do it a little differently. Some look very similar, but in reality, if you look at rehab sheets, everything is a little bit different. So what we don't want, that's the first kind of rule I want to talk to you about. Don't look at what other people are doing with their weights and you start copying them because you could be doing something that's harming you. That's for their spine. So just always stay with what you've been shown to do. Don't do what anybody else is doing. So that's like the first rule of thumb. Stick with what you've been shown. If you have questions, if you come and you're like, well, should I do this together? And especially for a lot of the newer patients, if you have questions, run out and ask Brandon and Destiny. They'll be happy to show you the right way for you. We'll pull out your rehab sheet. We'll make sure you know how to do that well. But don't just copy what somebody else is doing. That's vital. And we've actually seen people kind of doing that. So let's not do that. Do what you're told. And when you know what to do, you can even bring your rehab sheet in. That way you know every time how to do it. But when you come in, you'll take your cleaning agent, you'll spray a little bit on the towel, and wipe this down a little bit as I've already done. So I'm going to show you head weights because I do head weights. And so the way we do it, we don't put them on necessarily here. We would like to make sure that, especially the head weights, that we're sitting down and then we put it on, right? So we don't trip up or fall over anybody because sometimes people coming in and out of the room. We just want to be safe on that. So with the Halo posture weight, so the first thing is I'm not putting my head weight on like this because we don't want to strain our neck. So I'm going to keep my head like this and I'm going to strap it on like this. Perfect, and it's right over my eyes. So it's where kind of like the traction goes right over your eyes. We want the halo to hang here. So we don't want it up here. I saw somebody the other day, they had it completely wrong. We had to lovingly tell them, just don't put it up there. I've had people do it different ways. There's one way to do this. And so that is to put it on properly, cover it here, and then the key, this will help most people with the head weights. It's to make this easier on you, we're going to, because a lot of you have these shoulders in, if your shoulders are in and then I try to look back, that's about as far as my body will let me go before it starts to hurt. So I get locked. We don't want that to be painful for you. So before you take your head back, a good trick, just kind of pull the shoulders out of the way, and then I can go back a whole lot further and it doesn't hurt. It feels pretty good as I do this. And so I'm just gonna hold my position here for 5 minutes, right? So I'm looking at the time clock, I'll look up. If you're new to doing this, and this can be tough at first, I understand that because it's heavy. It's heavier than you think. So as you're doing this, if you find that it's really hard after 2 or 3 minutes, it's okay, take your hands, just kind of hold onto your neck for a second and just relax for just 10, 15 seconds. And then go back into that curve for the last minute or two, and you'll find that you can actually get through that 5 minutes a little bit easier. So it's a good little trick for you guys, just something that's helped me in the past, and it helps a lot of patients. Whenever I'm done, I don't look down. I'm always going to be taking off my head weight first. And if you have a chest weight, a lot of you do, or a shoulder weight, take the head weight off first. Make sure that's out of the way so you're not looking down. Then we can take the chest weight off or a shoulder weight off or the crossbody. I'll be standing if I'm doing crossbody, but we take that off. Those are going to be a little bit easier to do, but the head weight one is vital that most of us are doing head weights. So do that one the right way. The other thing is when you have this on, I don't like to show you wrong ways to do it, but this one I kind of will. So obviously, I've seen this and it drives me nuts. So I'm lovingly telling you, please don't do this. You're gonna negate. You see how I'm looking at you instead of looking up? I see people do this. They'll have conversations with people with their head weights on. So I'm actually forcing my neck to hurt when I do this. I've seen people just have conversations and they're talking with the head weights on. Horrible idea. You're gonna be very sore the next day in your muscles. And if you do that every time you're in the office, you're not going to progress well. So it's one of those where be focused on you for 5 minutes. You worry about you. You work on you. You can still talk, but I'm doing my stuff the right way. And then when you're done, take it off and then have a conversation. But don't do it while you're doing the weights, because I don't want that to hurt you in the wrong position. That's going to be vital. Another thing with that is, as we have these things on and we're doing our weights, okay, we don't want to be looking down. I know we have little ones in the office, and mommies, I get it. I know that's tough. But the worst thing we can have you do is be doing this, watching your little ones, and your head's looking down with the weights. Your curve will get worse. It's not going to get better. So let's just, again, focus on you. If you gotta hold the kid, I don't know, but just we want to do it, obviously the right way. And then no cell phones, please. You take 5 minutes. You're gonna be okay. The person can call you back. Facebook can wait. What else are the apps that you guys love to do? They can wait for 10 minutes while you work on your health. Stop doing this on a phone, please. And you don't even do this. Like, you're doing this on the phone with the weights on. Like, people, your neck's not going to get better. You're going to actually get worse doing that way. So let's not be on any tech. You need to clear your brain anyways, because you're focusing on your health. Listen to the videos. You'll learn something that's important, and act on some of that stuff. We play those to help you get better. So just, again, focus. This is your time. Do what you're supposed to do. Don't copy anybody else, okay? So again, that's huge. And just some ideas on rehab. I know there's other rehabs to do it and best ways to do it, but my point is, make sure you do what's on your rehab sheet. That's vital. And make sure that you're set up well before you start adding all these different weights on. The last thing that I would add would be the head weights. I do this last. That way I can have all the other stuff on. Then I put my head weights on. If I'm standing doing cross body or a shoulder or a lumbar weight, the last thing I'm going to put on is going to be my head weight. That way I'm in good posture, and I just add the weights on, and I'm just holding my posture. So if you're standing, make sure your posture's good. Make sure the shoulders are back when you're standing. Don't be doing your weights like this. That's going to be causing problems. Always think, is my posture good? Is my posture good? And that's going to help you in 99% of these situations. So hopefully that sheds a little bit of light on doing your rehab. And always do your rehab, your weights, always do that after Dr. Carter or myself adjust you. Never do this stuff before and then go get an adjustment, because your muscles will be tighter. It's going to be harder to move you. It might be a little bit uncomfortable for you. It's supposed to be done right after. So think about this. We get pressure off your nerves. Your body is in a better alignment. That's the perfect time to do your rehab. I would rather you not even, I'd rather you come right in here after, not go home and not do it. Do it here, take 5 minutes. This is about you and your health. I know we're in this busy culture society where we always say we're too busy. You're not too busy for your health, and you're here to get results. That's going to help you actually get results. So do it right after you get adjusted. I promise you, you get better correction with your spine. All right, guys.